Hey everybody, my name is Wyatt and I'm Ferda Tunes, and welcome back to a concert overview where I go over my personal experience seeing a specific artist live, going over every detail I can remember to hopefully give some people some insight on what they might be able to expect if they are going to see the same artist. Now, I know I just said all that, but I'm not going to be going off and as thorough as I usually am with these concert overviews. I wasn't planning on making this actually, but this concert was just so unfathomably amazing. I would just be doing myself and the bands and the fans a disservice if I didn't put some of these clips out there, and really, I just had to geek about this. Like, it's been almost a week since I've seen it. Physically cannot stop thinking about it. So if you want to see what these videos are usually like, a lot more in depth, going into, like I said, every detail I can remember, the playlist will be in the description. I've done this guy. I know y'all like the that's like one of my favorite videos still I've ever done. But let's get on with it. Before we really get the ball rolling, the videos that I got aren't amazing. I find in the lawn section at the Budweiser stage, I've had bad experiences there, but this was one of the best I've ever had. But the videos, no matter where you're standing, even at the very front of the lawn, they just aren't great. They aren't as immersive. They're more for sound. You kind of get the gist of everything, but yeah, they're just not that immersive. So obviously I'll put some clips up, but again, this video is mainly just emphasizing how mind blown I was by these two performances. So yeah, last weekend I got to see the first concert in the Unity tour with Pet Shop Boys and New Order. Now, me and my boy got these tickets like 3 years ago. Obvious delays took place, but we finally got to see it, and oh my god, it would have been worth a 6-year wait. I want to start by emphasizing just how much I adore synthpop, by far one of my favorite genres ever, and the month leading up to this show, my appreciation for these two bands just grew and grew. They both have so many hits, but countless amazing songs, deep cuts that I think are just as fantastic as most of the hits that everyone knows, and multiple stellar front-to-back albums. When we first got these tickets, I was a much bigger fan of New Order, but now I'm not even sure. Like, they both just impressed so damn much. So let's get into it. For some reason, I thought Pet Shop Boys were gonna close the night. I don't know why, I just assumed that they maybe had a wider fan base. But they actually opened after DJ Paul Oakenfield played a killer set. I literally don't know where to start, so I'm gonna just mention, before I forget, the crowd. One of the best crowds I've ever seen. Like, it was impeccable, especially for, again, the lawn section of Budweiser stage. You usually get some assholes who don't care about the music there. We'll get to that in another video, trust me on that one. But yeah, it was amazing, like, minus the overserved, dangerously drunk dads and moms that were barely stumbling on their way out of the venue, it was still all good vibes. Everyone was open, dancing, and just enjoying everything to the fullest. It was great to see. Now, Pet Shop Boys, flawless set. Like, everything you could want, everything I wanted, everything you could imagine. My expectations were completely blown away. The set list was near perfect. Obviously, there's some deep cuts that I would have personally liked to hear, but I'm not complaining. I am certainly not. I was pleasantly surprised to hear them do quite a few cuts off of their album Introspective, which I really got into recently, including Always on My Mind, of course, and Domino Dancing. Both of those sounded like so much better than the studio versions, which is insane. Always on My Mind was a highlight for sure of the whole night. Transcendental. One of the most moving, like, crowd participation moments in a concert I've ever experienced. It pains me that I somehow didn't get footage of this. I thought for sure I did, but this moment, oh my god, the crowd singing "You Always on My Mind," singing right back to Neil, him singing back. There aren't words to describe it. It was so glorious. I will never forget that moment, honestly. Like, it almost brought me to tears. Again, there were plenty of songs I wanted to hear, but that day, something about that day, their song Being Boring was just stuck in my head all day. And it got to the point when they finished, I was like, oh damn, I kind of accepted that they weren't going to play it. And I was like, damn, whatever, but they hadn't played West End Girls yet. And I'm like, yo, like, that's the one. So I remember just kind of waiting. My boy was like, all right, I'm going to go grab drinks. I'm like, just sit tight. Like they have to be doing an encore. And lo and behold, they did make us wait for a bit. They let that shit breathe, but they came out. That West End Girls chord came in. They switched it up a bit and then went into the song. Crazy, felt like another full circle life experience. I was feeling that serene nostalgia. Oh, everything was just coursing through me. And then they did Being Boring as their finale, and oh my god, it was perfect. You can literally hear me say to my boy, like, yo, I've been waiting all fucking day to hear these synths come in. The DJ came back out to play some classic 90s house trance, kept everyone dancing, and before we knew it, New Order was coming on. My anticipation was off the charts and my expectations were skewed. In the moment, part of me thought, like, there's no way they're gonna top what Pet Shop Boys brought to the table, not for me at least. And oh my god, they were just as amazing. Definitely brought a different vibe, but they were just as stellar, sounded amazing, very tight, the band. I was really surprised at how well Bernard sounded. I've heard mixed things about his vocals nowadays, but I felt he sounded awesome. Maybe not as golden and timeless as Neil from Pet Shop Boys, but that is an unfair standard to hold a man to. Their visuals and lights were perfect. These laser beams that followed the synth leads on most songs just beamed onto the trees behind us. It was the trippiest shit, and it really lit up the whole park. I wish I could see that kind of thing at more shows because it's timeless. It never fails to amaze. Especially during Your Silent Face, one of the 3 absolutely peak life, jaw-dropping, mind-blowing moments in New Order's set. I didn't expect them to do this one, but oh my god, it took me right back to the first time I ever heard that song years ago. Just absolutely frozen. The synth chords just washing over my entire soul, and again, those laser beams just shooting out into the crowd. The other very surreal, unbelievable moment for me was when they did Age of Consent. I think it was the second song they did, and the band just played this one to a T. The drummer was infectious to watch. The drums on that track are just my shit. When the synth comes in, I just completely lost control of my body. I was dancing like a madman. Every feeling that I could imagine, I was feeling. It was amazing. I was just completely gone. My mind just clocked out for the last few minutes of that song. I was... There aren't words again. Jesus. big finale though. They ended with Temptation. I always liked this song, but it never hit like this. What a way to wrap up a like 10 out of 10 performance. The icing on the cake, I just couldn't believe any of my senses. So much was going on, the visuals, the lights, the lasers, the like everything. I couldn't believe it. It was an overload of emotions and just gorgeous sound. I keep saying this, but I couldn't believe it. I still can't. Their encore was Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division, and wow, I've never been as big of a fan of JD as I am of New Order, but this was seriously special. The song sounded amazing, and again, like Temptation, it just clicked like never before. Very heartfelt, very moving performance. There was a lot of very emotional moments, and emotional, like, not good or bad, not sad or happy, just absolute pure beauty. Overall, I think this was top 5 concerts I've ever been to, and my boy said the same thing, which is really saying something. Both of these synth pop gods just pulling out all the stops. It was absolutely non-stop fun, dancing, euphoria, transcendent vibes all around. I cannot stop thinking about it. I can't stop wishing I could relive it again. It was so moving, so emotional. Again, just at moments it felt like peak of my life. Like, it doesn't get better than this. I cannot recommend this show enough to any fan of 80s music, period, any fan of synth pop, obviously, any fan of the bands. You have to go. I can't emphasize it enough. I will never forget this show. Again, I'm sorry for not being able to get amazing, crisp, clear videos. I really wish I got seats for this show personally. But the lawn was surprisingly a stellar vibe. Everyone just on the blankets, so many just hella older people just, reliving their youth. You could just see it. You could feel it, man. And again, sorry for not really going as in-depth as I usually do for these concert overviews. If you want to see how I usually go over this, the playlist will be in the description. I've covered a ton of artists, and I plan to cover, obviously, much more. I got another one coming this week that I think y'all will really like. I love doing these videos. I do them for myself more than anything, as just a bit of a time capsule to look back on these amazing shows. And again, it just brings out the most passion in me, and I really like to just, if people want to see, check out some clips, kind of know what to expect if they're going to see the show, or just relive it like I do rewatching all these videos. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Drop a like, leave a comment, let me know your favorite song from Pet Shop Boys or New Order, or if you're seeing them, or if you have seen them, let me know your favorite moment, anything. Please just share some stories below. Even just getting into their music, anything at all, please, I would love to hear it. I'm just helplessly obsessed with both of these bands in these last 2 weeks, and it's not slowing down at all. I can't stop running so many of their albums back to back. So thank you so much again for watching. Subscribe to stay tuned for more. Y'all can support me on Patreon if you want a couple hours worth of exclusive content for a cheap price. Support your boy. You can join the Discord if you want to talk to some super cool people about some super cool music. I'm trying to get the Discord, the Ferda family, more onto Pet Shop Boys. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get there. But regardless, everyone dope in there. Y'all join the damn Discord. Y'all can follow me on Instagram and Twitter and all that good stuff. Links in the description. Thank you again for watching, and much love. We'll see you in the next one.